Welcome to the Rootbound channel, and today we're gonna build this.
Daylight breaks over the jungle for Mike. There is no better way to start the morning than by the river, washing the sleep from his face and hydrating his body. With his mind clear and his body fueled, it's time to begin. The project today is ambitious, a primitive clay oven. Before the new construction can rise, the remains of yesterday's fire must be cleared. This isn't just about cleanliness, it's about reclaiming the space. Every bit of ash and charcoal is moved aside, creating a blank slate for the ambitious project ahead. Nothing goes to waste in this camp. Mike searches through the timber offcuts left over from yesterday's shelter build. He's looking for a sturdy piece of hardwood to craft a rugged digging tool. He needs a primitive shovel to handle the heavy earth and clay work that lies ahead. With the shovel complete, Mike turns his attention to the remaining vines from yesterday's build. In the jungle, flexibility is as valuable as strength. He begins to weave these leftover fibers into a crude but sturdy basket. This isn't just a craft. It's a necessity for transporting the heavy loads of clay and sand from the riverbank to the construction site. Efficiency in the wild means never letting a resource go to waste. By repurposing these scraps, he saves himself the time of hunting for new materials, turning the trash of his shelter into a vital logistical tool. Equipped with his hand-carved shovel and vine basket, Mike makes his way to the riverbank. His goal is high-quality sand, the essential aggregate for his building material. If you value the ancient skills of self-reliance and want to see more builds like this, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe to the Rootbound channel to join our journey and never miss a lesson from the wilderness. Your support keeps the fire burning. Next, Mike hunts for the most critical ingredient: clay. Not all river mud is created equal. He's looking for a high mineral subsoil that is sticky and plastic. This is the most grueling part of the process. Raw clay is dense and incredibly heavy. The final element of the mix isn't found in the river, but in the sun-drenched clearings. Mike gathers bundles of dry, fibrous grass. In primitive construction, these fibers act like rebar in concrete. They provide tensile strength to the clay, holding the structure together and preventing deep cracks from forming as the oven dries and expands. By adding this organic binder, Mike is creating cob, one of the oldest and most durable building materials known to man. It's a perfect balance of earth, sand, and fiber. With all components gathered, the most physical stage of the build is about to begin. Now comes the most labor-intensive part of the build, the mixing. Mike uses his own body weight to combine the ingredients, a technique known as puddling. By treading on the mixture, he forces the sand and clay together, ensuring there are no air pockets or dry clumps hidden inside. He adds the dry grass gradually, weaving it into the mud with every step. The goal is a consistent dough-like texture that holds its shape when squeezed. It's a rhythmic, exhausting process, but essential. While the cob mix rests, Mike scouts for the skeleton of the structure. He selects heavy, dense stones from the surrounding area. These aren't just for decoration. They provide the structural integrity and thermal mass needed to support the massive weight of the wet clay. With the materials ready, the construction truly begins. Mike carefully positions the stones to form the base, using his fresh cob as mortar. This layer must be perfectly level. It's the anchor for everything that follows. Now Mike builds the heart of the oven. He piles damp sand into a precise rounded dome. This isn't part of the final structure. It's a temporary internal mold. The height and width of this mound will dictate the airflow and the cooking capacity of the finished chamber. To prevent the wet clay from sticking to the sand, he covers the entire mound with large, broad leaves. This organic barrier creates a clean separation, ensuring that once the clay hardens, the sand can be easily excavated, leaving behind a smooth and hollow interior. With the mold protected, Mike begins to pack the cob over the leaves. He builds the walls thick, pressing the clay firmly to eliminate air gaps. This outer shell will become the rock-hard insulation that traps the heat inside. Now comes the moment of truth, cutting the mouth of the oven. Using a piece of sharpened bamboo, Mike carves a precise arch, careful not to disturb the internal structure. Once the shell has set, the internal mold is no longer needed. Mike reaches deep into the arch, carefully excavating the sand by hand, scoop by scoop. Finally, the oven is brought to life. He starts with a small, controlled fire to slowly dry the walls from the inside out. This first fire is critical. It hardens the clay and seasons the hearth, preparing the structure for the intense temperatures required for baking. While the oven reaches its peak temperature, Mike prepares the dough. He isn't using store-bought ingredients. This is a blend of the wilderness. He uses a base of starch from wild tubers, mixed with the fine meal he ground earlier from sun-dried seeds and nuts. This combination provides the structure and nutrients needed for a survival bread. The moment of transformation has arrived. To complement the bread, Mike needs the forest's finest sweetener. He uses a bundle of smoldering leaves to create a thick smoke, a primitive technique to calm the bees before he carefully extracts the honeycomb. In the wild, every drop of honey is liquid gold, a concentrated source of energy and flavor. But the harvest doesn't end there. He moves through the brush to locate the seasonal treasures of the canopy. He gathers the custard-like pawpaws, rich and creamy, along with clusters of wild sea grapes. These fruits will provide the fresh, tart contrast needed to balance the heavy grain of his survival bread. The scent of toasted grains fills the air as the bread emerges golden and steaming. Mike sets the stage for his feast on a vibrant banana leaf, a clean, natural platter for a meal earned through hours of labor. As the jungle shadows lengthen, the day's work comes to an end. Mike methodically packs his tools and prepares his camp for the night. He settles in, letting the sounds of the night take over. Another day mastered, another lesson learned from the earth. The journey of survival never truly ends. It only prepares us for what lies over the next horizon. Are you ready for the next adventure?
And that was today's adventure. Thanks for watching.